What's up, everyone, and welcome back to our OOTP 17 series with the Vancouver Canadians. And as I promised, I was going to do an end of the season episode before really got into the playoffs, pretty much recapping the wild card chase. And we were ahead. We were the top team for a while. We had created some distance between ourselves and the Angels, but then the Royals decided they had something to say about that. If we take a look at their schedule right here, they have won, looks like six. They've won six in a row to actually pass us for the wild card advantage. And I'm not super concerned about playing on the road in a wild card game because look at these starting pitchers that they have. They're not very good, and we've had a pretty good starting pitching staff this year. Let me go over the stats really quick before we get down the stretch. So I claimed Jorge De La Rosa. I claimed a few people off waivers. Jorge De La Rosa was one of them. Taijuan Walker was injured for a while, and we needed a spot in the rotation. I actually accidentally left him out of the rotation here. You can see he pitched 2/3 of an inning against the Texas Rangers, but he has been dynamite his last three starts. He had a kind of rough outing his first start back. He walked 5 and only struck out 3, gave up 4 runs, 2 home runs. But since then, 1 run, 2 runs, and only 1 walk in his last, 24 innings. So that's pretty damn impressive. So he's currently slotted at fourth because we replaced Jorge Lopez in his spot, who started out really good. And can you check further in the game log? I don't think so. His first 4 starts were really, really good, and then I don't know what happened to him. Well, it looks like his BABIP is at 382, so that might be part of it. So you might have also seen that Lucas Giolito doesn't have the greatest stats in the world. He has not walked a batter in his last 4 starts, and then even the start before that, he only walked 2. I think he's just really getting unlucky in terms of the balls in play. He had a 259 BABIP for Washington, and he has a 330 BABIP for us, but his walk rate's down, his strikeouts are up, his home run rate is up a little bit. I think he's just allowing more hits, which comes down to we really don't have that good of a defense. If you take a look here at his pitching stats for us, I think his FIP is 421, which is on pace with what it was for the rest of the season for while he was in Washington. So I think he's just having a rough transition to the AL. I definitely think that he's kind of turned it on in terms of performance lately. Like this game, he only allowed 7 hits, but unfortunately, one of them was a home run, and they scored 4 runs. This one's not very good. He had a couple of rough starts right here, but he had a couple of not that bad starts beforehand. So he's gonna hit hard. We'll go over the offense in a second. I claimed Tim Lincecum off waivers. He was on our team last year and performed, I'd say, adequately. And he's been up and down for us, to say the least. Good start these first couple games that he played for us, and then ever since then, it's kind of been inconsistent. And we could definitely swap him out with Jorge Lopez at some point. But Trevor Bauer has been hit hard this last couple months. He's turned it on again. He turned it on again for 1 start, but other than that, his ERA's climbed up by like a run. And I think that it'll definitely turn around in the stretch of the season. We're going to go through bad stretches and good stretches throughout the year, and there was no way he was going to maintain the pace that he was on for the entire season. And my game just froze, so we're going to have to give it a second to load out. But I'm happy with the way that the pitching staff has gone. We made another waiver claim too that I'll show you guys in a second. We claimed Drew Storen off of waivers, and so he has joined our bullpen. I tried to claim guys that I was watching through the waiver wire that were good leaders, and this says Steven Drew. Drew Storen is an undisputed leader on the team, and outside of this one really bad game right here, and one when he first started with us, he gave up 3 runs in 1/3 of an inning. He's been pretty good actually. His whip is actually kind of high. His BABIP is a little high. His strikeouts are pretty decent. He's really just walked a few more guys than probably should have liked. He's put the ball in play a little bit more than he probably should too, but he's definitely had an impact in terms of winning. We're definitely winning a lot more since he's on the team than when he wasn't. And if you look over here, his SIP is 484, but we're still going to keep him around. He's actually pretty good, and I'm thinking about retaining him this offseason, but Outside of that, Jorge De La Rosa, we claimed off of waivers too. He's been for the most part solid, but 3 of his last 4 starts have been really bad. He only threw 49 pitches in his last outing, and he's definitely not been as good with us as he was out of the bullpen in Houston. But he's been solid, I would say. I'm not going to put him in the playoff rotation or anything, but I definitely think that is going to be our Game 1 starter is definitely going to be Taijuan Walker, and then probably if we go to the ALDS, it'll be Bauer Giolito. And then if we have to have a number 4 starter, we can go from there. I can always have Tim Lincecum or maybe even Jorge De La Rosa start. They started 9 games for us, and he's been winning, but I definitely only think that's because of the support of our offense. I think that's good in terms of pitching. Let's go to the offense now. And this has really been the story of the year. So we just called up Braxton Davidson to play in right field. We had, who was it coming off injury? Preston Tucker came off injury, and he played really good for about a week and then just started sucking. So we sent him down to AAA, where he's actually backing up the outfielders. And as you can see, 615 OPS. So definitely was not satisfied with him. He hasn't really had the greatest career in Vancouver anyway, even though we play in what I think is a hitter's park, if I remember the last time I checked. So definitely wasn't happy with his production. So we brought up Braxton Davidson, and he has a 980 OPS so far on the year. Since his call-up through 35 plate appearances, 2 home runs, 2 RBI. Wilmer Flores has been hot lately, up to a 902 OPS. For most of the season, he was I should probably set his position to DH. I thought I already did that, but yeah, he's DH now. So why does it show outfield? Right, that's weird. So he's followed up his career growth pretty well. His first 2 years were pretty similar, but he's already been a 3.5 win player so far, and we only have like 15 games left, so it's probably not going to get much higher. But 3.5 win player as a DH is pretty hard. 35 home runs, 110 RBI, and he's probably, I'd imagine, a front runner for the MVP at this point too. I haven't really checked those races yet, but 870 OPS for Ryan Schimpf, who has 36 home runs again. Candelario's really turned it on lately, and he is up to an 856 OPS. Scott Van Slyke's having another really good year. I'm pretty sure he had a good year last year too, and he's really come back from what was a pretty abysmal opening year of this franchise. Actually, this is by far his better year, I'd say. 2 or almost 3 wins in less games than last year. Let's look at his fielding stats. I think that might be the difference this year. He actually played some games in the outfield too. Apparently played 4 innings in center field. Career fielding stats in terms of zone rating. So I definitely say that, and you can see this really poorly generated face up here. I'd say that's definitely where a lot of those extra wins are coming from. And if you take a look here, if I offer him an extension, he wants 3.5 mil for the next year. So I'm actually thinking about keeping him at that price because, this is all going to change because I actually have to redo my budget. But we'll probably have the money for that. If not, I will look into trading him because we could probably get pretty good value for him, and we have some candidates to take over that spot at first base. I'm thinking about removing Schimpf for like the 3rd year in a row because, actually second. I think he played second for the first 2 years we had him. Is that correct? He split time between 3rd and 2nd. So if we move him to first base next year, it'll be his 4th position in 4 years. So. And he's actually probably the best at 3rd base. He's not very good in left field, but the bat is really what he's there for anyway. And, he's been really good this year. Scott Van Slyke's been good. Ricardo Cantu's been kind of cold lately, but he's still 841 OPS, 361 OBP, which leads the team. VR's been not as good this year as he was last year, but still pretty good. Chase Vallett's performed admirably as a catcher, but he's been cold a lot. He's been cold recently. I'll have to take a look at that. But he's already progressed up to 4 stars out of 5, and he still has a little bit more room to grow in eye discipline and and home run power. And I'm hoping that he can get better as a catcher too, because if not, we're gonna have to probably move him. I want to see if there's any. Oops, that's Jonathan VR. Chase Vallett. If there's any other spots we can put him in, that he's pretty good. So it looks like he's actually good in the outfield, which is not the greatest sign because it's not that much better anyway. Well, he'll be fine as a catcher, I think. If we keep Rene Rivera as a defensive backup, then it'll definitely be fine. Rene Rivera's performed admirably this year, 672. We moved Joey Ricard out of center, and we put him back on the bench. He's been a pretty big disappointment for us. BJ Moore has struggled for most of the year, but I value his defensive versatility at this point. He's definitely a guy that we're going to have to replace this offseason. But Steven Moyle, we're playing in center right now. He was playing in right until we called up Braxton Davidson. And he's been cold lately, but he was doing pretty good for us. It's mostly the power that has worked out for him. He isn't really hitting for any sort of average. But I think that our offense is really what's gonna carry us. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 9 spots with an OPS above 100. So assuming Braxton Davidson is our starting outfielder in the playoffs, because I imagine he will be, but you never know. Never know. He was really good in AAA this year after a relatively disappointing minor league career earlier on, where he wasn't the greatest. He didn't perform the greatest, but now he's definitely turning it on. And it's kind of concerning, but his contact isn't really developing. We'll see if that comes into play at any point during the series. But he definitely adds it a lot. He's like our only other left-handed hitter was Ryan Schimpf before him. And Steven Moya is obviously not a long-term solution. We have Malik Smith still on the DL, and I don't think he's going to be back in time for the playoffs. The last time I checked anyway. Yeah, he's out for 3 to 4 more weeks. So he might be back during the playoffs. I don't imagine he will be. But he's actually declined from being out for so long. So we'll see if he even comes back and plays effectively. He wasn't the greatest with us anyway. 360 OBP, but only a 318 slugging. And he hasn't been the most impressive major leaguer up to this point. But, you know, I definitely have hopes for him. I think if he can be mildly better than Joey Ricard was, then hopefully he develops a little bit better. That's still a spot that I'm looking to upgrade at. But if we take a look at our prospects, if we can we go to make a trade still, even though it's past the trade deadline? If we go to make a trade and we take a look at our prospects, we really have a strength in the outfield. Jerry Aguilar we moved to the outfield. He's actually injured. I did not know that. He also hasn't played the best so far, but why is he very unhappy? Maybe because he's injured? I have no idea. And Alejandro Terral, obviously Braxton Davidson, Paul Castillo, Garrett Mitchell. A lot of our top prospects are outfielders, so maybe not the most concerned about addressing the outfield quite yet. Alejandro Terral is definitely the best out of that group, and he's really starting to look like a steal. Honestly, he's already up at Double-A, and he's playing amazingly. So the one thing I'm kind of concerned with is that he's not developing a defensive position, which is something to definitely watch for. But if we take a look at his ratings, he's really only good in the outfield. So I'm maybe thinking like that left field spot, if he can just, you know, be an okay left fielder. But I'm definitely pleased with his progress. We have not had the greatest luck with the draft. Things have not exactly broken our way, and we've done an okay job of restocking the farm, but at the same time, I'd really prefer if we had done better through the draft. But the drafts have been relatively weak according to our head scout anyway. So Devin Ortiz is in the rookie league again, apparently, and it's looking more and more with the passing of time that he is not the greatest first overall pick in the history of the draft. But he's still only 19, and he could develop still. I'm hoping anyway. But let's get back to the point of this entire video, which is watching the wildcard race. So I stopped here specifically because that's not what I wanted. I stopped here specifically because if you take a look at our schedule, where is team info? Yeah, there we go. Take a look at our schedule. We're not really playing. We're playing 2 playoff teams in the rest of our series. And other than that, is kind of a cakewalk schedule. I'm pretty sure the White Sox aren't a very good team. Yeah, they're below 500. The Texas Rangers are the best team in our division, and that's what our last series is against. Oakland isn't very good, as you can see right here. They are a really mediocre team. Minnesota's had a rough year, and I think Baltimore is a bad team too. So we have a lot of easy games left on our schedule, but we have a lot of very rough games left on our schedule too. And here's Tampa Bay, 61 and 77. So let's get into this sim. We're gonna go day by day, and hopefully we end up with a playoff spot. We still have not clinched. The magic number is 22, and the game is probably gonna freeze at least twice while we're doing this. So I don't know why my game freezes so much. I don't have any other problem running applications on this computer, or any computer. This did this on my old computer too, but yeah, I don't know. It likes to freeze whenever I try to sim for whatever reason. So we're definitely doing a better job up to this point of building the team up than the Montreal Expos have been doing, though. At least that's a good sign, because we were kind of working against them to start. So we lost at Kansas City. They gained a game on us. And the biggest thing to watch here is that if we lose too many games, we might fall behind the Angels too. We lost again to Kansas City, and this is not looking good so far. We need to salvage one game out of this series. And we lost. We got swept by Kansas City. All right, let's keep going. Maybe Minnesota will be an easier matchup. And all right, we lost. What? Are you kidding me? We lost 0-27. Oh my god. The game does this sometimes. I don't know why. And I hate that it does this, but it makes your team pitch position players, and I don't understand why. I don't understand why we lost 27-0 to the Twins either. That's a weird sim. I don't. Whatever. Just mad. So Jose Barrios, okay. So Tim Lincecum had a terrible outing, and it wasn't even like our normal pitchers who were really good. Like, it was bringing in Roberto Ozuna when we already gave up 12 runs. Rene Rivera pitched, Joey Ricard pitched. So I don't know why the game does that. It's weird to me that they're doing that. But we got a doubleheader against Minnesota today. So we're half back now. We're really starting to choke away the playoffs. And all right, we split, which is not the result I wanted, but as long as we're staying in this wild card race with Los Angeles, then all right, we won 11-9 over Baltimore, and we gained a game on the Angels with that win. All right, so we got another game against Baltimore. Let's hopefully win this one, because we just struggled against a team that we really should have beat multiple times in the Angels, or the Twins, because they're a pretty bad team, but actually looks like they've been playing relatively well lately. A good sign, though, Oakland has been playing terrible, so is Tampa Bay, and those are two of the teams we have left on our schedule. All right, big pivotal series against the Angels right here, as we haven't really been playing so great so far. All right, so we are back in the same spot. At least the thing with this is, all right, we didn't get swept. Our Candelario's out, but it's only for 4 days. I'm not super concerned. Why is our minor league guys not up? I'm not going to worry about that. We actually got to go back. All right, so we won a game. So this series at least guarantees that we're going to stay tied with the Angels if we lose this last game. All right, so we're tied back in that second wild card spot. And this is getting really intense. All right, we won against Oakland. It took 11 innings, but we did pull it out. All right, we lost game 2. We received a personal message. Ishikawa is suspended for 3 games. All right, not a big deal. Now let's go back. Oakland. The only thing that sucks is our last series is against Texas, who has the second best record in the league. So, all right, we lost, but it looks like LA also lost. Oh, we lost again to Oakland. We lost 3. Did we lose 3 in a row? I think we lost 3 in a row. No, we won 1 game in 11 innings. That sucks. We're not winning games that we should. So this is really what's going to be the downfall right here. We got to beat Chicago. They're not a good team. And we lost game 1. And we lost game 2. And now the Angels are up by 2 games. All right, BJ Moore. Apparently the clubhouse sucks. I don't really know what I can do about that. All right, actually, it's not a 2-game lead. All right, so the Angels are not doing very good either, so that's a good sign at least. We got to win, though. We've lost 2 out of 3 to Chicago. The Chicago White Sox, who are one of the worst teams. Well, actually, they're only 7 games worse than we are, but they've been eliminated from the playoffs, so Still not very good. I received a personal message again. Oh, this is people retiring. This is stupid. I don't care. All right, we got to win this game. Come on. We're playing the White Sox. Like, our offense is evaporating too. That's like the shittiest part about all this, is the part that's supposed to be carrying our team isn't. Our offense is supposed to be by far the better part of our team over the pitching, and our offense isn't even showing up in these games. It's not like we're losing a lot of close games. Like, we're getting beat like 6-2. All right, we won against Chicago, 10-2 score right there, and Tim Lincecum wants an extension. I'm gonna save the game really quick in case it crashes. All right, I reset the game to try and combat any potential future freezing. I don't know if it's actually gonna help anything, but I at least gave it an effort after that save. So we got 6 games left this season against Tampa Bay, and then a 3-game set against Texas. Texas just clinched a playoff spot, so I'd like to beat at least 2 out of 3 of Tampa Bay to put us in a good position. Although, again, it does all depend on what the Angels do. So, and I just reset the game to stop freezing, and it's already freezing again. So that's definitely a good sign. I'm probably gonna have to restart my computer, but too late into this process now to really do that. So I'm just gonna I've opened the wrong tab. All right, so we won against Tampa Bay, but it looks like LA also won. I would not necessarily mind if we had to go into a tiebreaker scenario, but the Angels lost, actually, excuse me, but then we lost the next day, so it didn't matter because they won their series or their game. So we're 1-1 against Tampa Bay right now, and all right, if the game ever sims this game, all right, it froze again. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I have no, like, when I was playing this off camera, like, to get up to this point, it did not do this, but I don't know. Alright, so we won against Tampa Bay, but the Angels also won their game. We don't have a game today, which I imagine means that the Angels don't either. It's probably, like, both of our last days off. As looks like the NL wildcard race is pretty relatively close, too. Well, it looks like the Phillies actually just played their way out, but yeah, they actually got eliminated. A lot of new faces in the NL playoffs this year. Pretty sure Cincinnati made it last year. And down here is Montreal, still just as bad as they were when we started. So we took 2 out of 3 from Tampa. I don't know. This series against the Rangers is making me kind of nervous. Won 100 games already. And I don't really feel confident in our chances. Well, obviously, LA can't be playing anybody too good because it's all divisional. And the other 2 teams in our division are the Mariners and the Athletics, and both of them are terrible. So I imagine this is going to be the spot where we just lose the playoff spot that we have. But maybe something crazy can happen against the Rangers as the game freezes again. Again, I don't know why, like, OBS isn't taking up that much CPU. Like, alright. Oh, it's because this stupid scouting thing. I don't know why. Alright, we lost to Texas, but it looks like we LA also lost. Alright, let's look. Drop, improvement. Jorge Lopez went up. Ishikawa went up. Lucas Giolito jumped from 2.5 to 4.5 stars. He hasn't even been playing all that good lately. I don't know what the deal is with that. Vallet dropped a little bit, probably because he had a rough end of the year. Ricardo Cantu dropped apparently, even though all his ratings are exactly the same. That's very strange. 6.5 win player. That's pretty good. Pretty good for a rookie. I imagine he's gonna win Rookie of the Year. Braxton Davidson improved from 3 to 4 stars. I imagine he's having a pretty good end of the year. 408, 535 slugging. So that's definitely good to see, even though he's kind of cooled off since his hot start. I'm definitely excited to see stuff like that. I didn't mean to sidetrack this video too far, but let's take a look at Willie Adames dropped. He's another guy claimed off of waivers. Jared Joseph is going down in potential apparently, but I imagine that'll fluctuate a million times. It doesn't look like anybody else here is super notable. David Correa dropped. That's not good. Yeah, they don't really like the fact that he struggled in Little Rock, even though he was doing good in Madison. I don't know why that changed, but you know, these guys are young. Their potential is going to change a million times. All right, sorry to get sidetracked, but we lost against Texas, but LA also lost. Taiwan Walker is out for the wild card game, or the potential wild card game that we'd have to play. All right, so this is really coming down to the wire because LA lost as well. So our best hope is to win and hope that LA loses. I don't really know what the prospects of that are either way, but I'm gonna see. Let's start Jorge Lopez instead of Tim Lincecum. Or how tired is he? Oh, he's exhausted actually. That's not gonna be an option. Tim Lincecum is good for energy. Jorge De La Rosa is 100% rested, but he gave up 6 runs in his last outing. Not really confident in us winning this final game, but in the potential situation of a tiebreaker game, we would have Trevor Bauer, who has definitely not been as good in the second half, and he's had a few not so great games recently, but I definitely have more confidence in him than Jorge De La Rosa. All right, let's see. Moment of truth. And we lost. Oh no, we didn't even play this game. It didn't sim the day before. We lost, and Ricardo Cantu's out if we did make the playoffs. We have a play-in game against the Los Angeles Angels. So let's do that too in this video. But it looks like Ricardo Cantu is out. I don't think I can call anybody up at this point. It looks like BJ Moore is probably going to be our best hope. Go over all those stats after our play-in game is over. Scott Van Slyke kind of ate it to end the year. He wasn't doing very good. All right, let's put VR up there. Actually, I don't know if I want VR leading off. Who was their highest OBP? Braxton Davidson. Candelario is 352. I'll take that. Let's do that instead. And we'll put Braxton Davidson as our number, like, I want to move him up in the lineup, but trying to figure this out. We'll put move him up. Just keep moving him up. We might just put him in the second spot, honestly. Swap him out with Cantu's spot. That wasn't what I wanted. I'm trying to figure this out on the spot, so it's gonna take a couple minutes. We'll make Wilmer Flores our number 2 hitter, actually. Then we'll put VR, Van Slyke, Schimpf. It's Juan Diaz. Not a very good second base rating. Candelario is only a third baseman. Is there anyone we can call up? No, I think we're just gonna have to go with BJ Moore. It's gonna get rid of like 3 of our alternates, but it's it's gonna be one game, so let's paste all this crap right here. Alright, let's sim to the next day. We're probably gonna have this game against the Angels. Or not. They determine some sort of tiebreaker already? No. Then how's this gonna work? Unless it shows it like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. All right, we got to play against the Angels. All right, this is gonna be the moment of truth. Whether we make or miss the playoffs is all riding on this moment, and their lineup is not very good. So, and we're not. Wow, Garrett Richards has been terrible this year. We're not going to be. That wasn't what I wanted. We're not going to be pitching Jorge De La Rosa. That's for sure. So, Giolito good to go. Maybe he's been the last few starts though. Is Trevor Bauer good? If Trevor Bauer's good, we're going to go with Trevor Bauer. Yeah, 100% rested. All right, we're relying on Trevor Bauer. That's my final decision. Against this not very good lineup. All right, let's start the game. And ooh, I got to turn my speaker off because it's picking that up. All right, so we got Ramsey. Let's go batter by batter. Why? It's going to take forever if I do this. Actually, never mind. Alright, season series stands at 7-5 in favor of Vancouver. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so is he already on first? Hold on, let me see. Yeah, he got, alright, base hit already. So this is not going to be good. Let's go half inning. Alright, we got out of it. They got another hit. Alright, we got a couple hits. They didn't do anything. Alright, we scored a run. What happened there? Where's game log? Blah, 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 blah. Bottom of the third. Home run for Steven Moya. Alright. Not bad. Alright, another good inning. We should probably keep track of how many pitches. Alright, it's 58 pitches it looks like. Alright, that's not bad. We got another 2 runs. Let's see what happened there. We got that's solo home run for Moya, solo home run for Braxton Davidson, and then Scott Van Slyke singled and BJ Moore drove him in. So as much shit as I talked about him, and he actually gave us a pretty good effort. And they come right back with 2 right there. Trevor Bauer is at 77 pitches, so I'm gonna warm up somebody. And oh my god, everybody is so tired. Alright, Chasen Shreve is still good to go though, so let's warm up Storin and warm up Bearclaw too. He had a really rough end of the year. 381 BABIP. Feel really bad for him. Actually, how's Jorge Lopez on stamina? 81%. Yeah, we'll be good with Storin, I think. Let's just hope that we can make it through this half inning without any disasters. Alright, so Bauer's at 98 pitches, so, or what did that say? 98? Yeah, 98 pitches. We're gonna take him out. He got through another inning, okay. So let's put Storin in, but we're gonna toss Ozuna, just in case. And I'll also get Bearclaw warmed up, just in case the worst does happen. Alright, let's hopefully go this half inning, nothing happens. Alright, Drew Storin was good. And alright, so we got Bearclaw and Ozuna's ready. I'm gonna sit down Bearclaw, and we're gonna put in Ozuna because he's our second best pitcher on our. Why is everybody red? Why is it showing the batters? Can I see the batters, or can I see the pitchers, please? Why would it bring up the batters? Alright, we'll warm up Chasen Shreve as well. And we'll get back to the game. Whoops. I don't want live simulation. Alright. Oh, we got 3 more runs. Alright, so let's see what happened there with the game log. That was a crazy, crazy half inning right there. Alright, we had an interruption, but I don't think you should have cut anything out of this. If anything had to be cut from that due to the background noise, where we just put in Drew Storin and we had a scoreless top of the 7th, and then we came back and scored 3 in the bottom, and the game log shows, I have not seen what happened yet, the bottom of the 7th. 2-run home run for Rene Rivera after Steven Moya reached on an error, and then a solo shot for Braxton Davidson, which is his second of the game, I'm pretty sure, if we go back. Yeah, 2 home runs this game for Braxton Davidson. That's a pretty incredible performance for him. Yeah, 2 home runs, both solo shots. We also got an on base another time. So have yourself a game, Braxton Davidson. He's really showing up for the Canadians in a must-win. All right, so I think we just put in, if I remember correctly, we just put in Roberto Ozuna, and he hasn't pitched yet. And Chasen Shreve is getting ready in the bullpen. And since it's the last 2 innings, let's take this batter by batter, just in case we have to bring in Chase and Shreve. I imagine not, but I'm going to go batter by batter, just going to micromanage this game. Ramsey swings, and he flies out, foul territory. Alright, that's nice. Let's get up to CJ Crone. 2-1. Base hit into right or left, excuse me. So we have Mike Trout at the plate, which is kind of scary. But why is there a new pitcher? Oh, whoops! I accidentally simmed a half inning, so it looks like he got out of that pretty nice. He's obviously tired, but let's put in Chase and Shreve and hopefully clinch this. I accidentally simmed a half inning. That was my fault. All right, we're up 9-2 right now. I'm just not gonna pitch Chase and Shreve then. Who can we just throw in there as a waste for the last inning, so we don't tire anybody important out? Tim Lincecum. Is it going to be Lincecum or Jorge De La Rosa as a potential number 5 starter? Lincecum. I definitely go with Lincecum over Jorge De La Rosa. So let's throw De La Rosa in there if we can. Can we not? Let's put him in instead of Chase and Shreve. Alright, let's what? I don't want to waste Chase and Shreve though. We're up by 7 runs. Alright, let's see what happened at least. I guess I'll leave Shreve in there. It isn't the biggest deal in the world. 2-run shot from Moya. He's had a really good series. Double scores Rene Rivera too. Alright. It's not bad. I really wish that we could take out Chase and Shreve, but unfortunately it looks like he's going to be stuck in there. Alright, let's do this last half inning then, batter by batter, and clinch our first ever playoff appearance. Hopefully, strike 3 for Cole Calhoun. All right, so we'll go another. Well, we actually make sure we go through at bats this time. 0-2 pitch, swung deep, high in the air, and it's off the fence. And Moya does not throw him out. All right, so that is a runner at second. Chris Johnson is at bat. It's not Chris Johnson. I don't know who this is. And all right, another strikeout for Chase and Shreve. And let's get to final batter, potentially Andrelton Simmons. Ball in the air on the right. Davidson can't field it. The double and the score. All right, so they scored a run. Let's just keep going. James Ramsey. Swing and a miss. And that's it. The Vancouver Canadians are going to clinch their first playoff spot in history of the franchise. So let's take a look at the box score really quick. Candelario in the leadoff spot didn't really pay a lot of dividends. He only had 1 hit. Wilmer Flores only had 1 hit. But Braxton Davidson, 2 for 3 night with 2 solo home runs. I got on base another couple times. Jonathan Villar with 3 times on base. Scott Van Slyke 5 base runners on. That's unfortunate. 1 for 4 for Ryan Schimpf. BJ Moore didn't play the worst. He had a big RBI and got on base as well another time. Steven Moya with a big night, though. A couple home runs, I believe, right there. And he also reached another time on an error. And Rene Rivera played surprisingly well. I probably actually really should have put Chase Vallet in there, but or Case. I can't remember if his name is Case or Chase, but all right. So, and pitching wise, Bauer went 6 innings and only gave up 2 runs. Not the worst night for him. Chase and Shreve unfortunately gave up that home run, but Drew Storen had a really good appearance, even though he did have that walk apparently. And Roberto Ozuna gave up a couple hits, but ended up getting out of it. So that's gonna do it. Oh, whoops! I actually should have gone back and what's this? 2 home runs in a simulated game. So can we say? I want to save this as, but I don't think we can now, unfortunately. Save this as a like a note of that's not what I wanted. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I screwed that up. I wanted to save that as our play-in game, but that was one of the better finishes to the season. We're kind of stumbling into the playoffs. I don't know who we're playing. It looks like the Cleveland Indians, so that's going to be interesting. It's probably just going to be a blowout. We're going to cover that in the next episode because this thing has already run way too long. So Yeah, that's going to do it for me. We'll go over some season stats, though. And what's this live scores? Can I go to the... Yeah, I think it's just stuck permanently with me not being able to save that as a note. But I'm definitely going to take a playoff appearance. It's going to drive up our budget. Fan interest is going to go up, and it's definitely good for the franchise. And I think this is only, our third year as a team, too, and already to make the playoffs. Is definitely quite the achievement. So let's go over our overall statistics on the season. De La Rosa is not important. Bauer, 3.84 ERA on the year. 3.96 when he starting. Not the worst, not the best, but he definitely performed adequately. 2.5 win pitcher, 1.22 whip. Definitely struggled down the stretch, but he had 144 strikeouts in 136 innings pitched. I think he really just got unlucky toward the end of the season in terms of BABIP, because this was definitely a lot lower beforehand. But in his first full season as a starter for us, I'm definitely satisfied with the results that he gave us. A lot better than his last season as a starter in Cleveland. So I'm definitely going to take that season out of Bauer. Giolito, I think, kind of turned it around at the end. It kind of looks like it, not really, but his ratings are up, so I'm definitely going to take that as a good sign. Oh, it doesn't really look like he's performed all that great lately. He's definitely a more longer term piece than I'm expecting him to be very good this year, but he's going to be our third starter in the playoffs. Maybe he can work out for us. Taiwan did really good, I thought. His FIP was a little high. I think it's just because he walked a lot of people. Well, actually, his walk rate's not even that bad. 2.4. 108 whip for us, 76 strikeouts and 72 innings pitched. And I'll definitely take that. And only 9 home runs. I think that's probably why he gave up 9 home runs in 72 innings. That's probably why his FIP is a little bit higher than it should be. But if we go to pitching stats and we look at the FIP for us, I think it'll be a little bit less than... no, actually it's higher. I don't know why his FIP is so high. Unless it's like the home run thing. I don't know. But definitely happy with Taijuan Walker's performance this year. And Tim Lincecum played like crap, but he's probably going to have to be our number 4 starter in the playoffs. Definitely still looking to improve starting pitching. And these 3 guys have only been here this year anyway, so definitely going to be a long-term rebuild in that department. Braxton Davidson, in 133 plate appearances, 1080 OPS, 351 BABIP is a cause for concern. He had a win in those at-bats too. Wilmer Flores, 908 OPS, cooled off a little bit toward the end, but that's his best season by far for us. And 4.5 win season with 39 home runs at 137 RBI. That's ridiculous. Ricardo Cantu is going to be out for the playoff run, it looks like. He did play 156 games, though, and hit /294, 363, 499 for an 862 OPS. Definitely happy with that. 1 point lower than him, Yamir Candelario, who struggled for a lot of the year. But I'm going to have to look up his pronunciation again. But definitely turned it around at the end. Had a better year than he did last year. Not as good of an on-base year. He definitely had a better on-base year last year. But he was hitting the ball a lot harder. And he doubled his home run total almost from last year. While still hitting almost as many doubles and a similar amount of plate appearances. He actually had more. But some more of those doubles turned into home runs. And generally, I like to look at doubles with a young player as a sign of potential home run power in the future. Like a few years ago, I think it was like 2013, Manny Machado led the league in doubles, and now he's a home run hitter. So I'm definitely think that he can develop that part of his game. Ryan Schimpf, 852 OPS, 311 OBP. Definitely what we could expect out of him. 41 home runs again this year. I'm pretty sure he had 32 last year, so he improved on that. He actually cut down his K rate a little bit too, and his best hitting year for us so far. So all these guys are getting better, and I definitely think Schimpf overachieved a little bit this year, but played above his head, but not bad still. Scott Van Slyke, 344 OBP, 41 slugging, 825 OPS. Not a bad season from him. Jonathan VR a little bit down this year, but I will still definitely take what he did provide us. Chase Vallett, 759 OPS in 218 plate appearances. So look for him to be maybe our full-time catcher next year. Steven Moya, 701 OPS, cooled off down the stretch, but he had a big game for us in that playoff game. So I'm going to be taking that performance out of him over the Joey Ricard 624 OPS. and I expected him to be a lot better. But BJ Moore is going to unfortunately have to be our second baseman throughout the playoffs. I don't really think there's anything else we have to cover. We stumbled into the playoffs, had to play a play-in game, but we killed the Angels, and we are heading into the playoffs. So can we do a little bit of playoff preview here if there's a standings thing? I think it's in the standings. Pennant chase. Maybe if we sim another day. Let's see what happens. See if it brings up anything. It's probably got to create the schedule and everything, so it's probably going to be slow for a second. Yeah, it froze already, so... Alright, going into the playoffs. First achievement, 2018. Personal message we've received. And what is it going to be? Playoff begins right. Oh, we got to set our playoff roster. I'm going to do that next episode. He doesn't look very good. I'm going to do that next episode. But I just want to see if there's a playoff preview screen. Playoff coverage. There we go. So, playoff tree. We got, we're playing the, how's this set up? Alright, so we're playing the Kansas City Royals. I believe we're on the road for that game, and if we win, we will get a chance to play against the Cleveland Indians in the ALDS. This is going to be a wild card game, though. And then Boston Red Sox and the Texas Rangers are playing, and then the Dodgers have a bye. They will play the winner of Pirates Mets, and the Marlins are facing the Cubs. RIP Jose Fernandez. So that's going to be the playoffs. Next episode, I'm going to be doing the wild card game and any potential ALDS. And then if we move on to the ALCS, I'll make that a different episode. But that's going to do it for me. This episode's gone on pretty long, so I'm going to end it here. I don't know when I'm going to get around to the playoffs. Hopefully sometime next week or within the next week. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more OOTP 17 Vancouver Canadians expansion franchise.